Welcome to the Pro Project House. Come on in. My name is Caroline McCartney. I moved here from Florida, but I'm from Long Island, New York, and I've been in triathlon for 7 years. One of my gym teachers in high school is a 7-time Ironman, so I had to stop swimming, and then he encouraged me to do a triathlon. So I saw it on Instagram, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. It was mentioned on some of the podcasts that I listened to. But in my head, I was like, I could never do that. Like, one, I've never been coached. I work full time. This is an amazing opportunity, but like, it wouldn't work for me. And then I saw it a couple more times, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll just ask if I'd have to quit my job if I work virtually, because I can work wherever I want. And so it took me about like 4 times of watching the reel and then messaging the Waterfall Racing Instagram. Could I even be considered for this? And when they said yes, I just went and submitted the application. So I was in shock, I think. I was home for Christmas on Long Island, and they announced it on Christmas morning. So I was just holding my phone, and all of a sudden I see Tim O'Donnell tagged you in a reel. And I was like, okay. And my hand started shaking. My mom was standing next to me, and she's like, your hand's shaking a little bit. So I think I was just pretty shocked, because when we found out about the 8 that moved into the semifinalists, we heard before they posted on Instagram. So in my head, I was like, oh, the person who's picked already knows. So it's not me. And they're just going to announce it on Instagram, and I'll go see who it is. So I thought for sure that whoever it was knew in advance, but they actually did just announce it on Instagram, and it was 2 of us instead of 1. I was really happy for the day, but I did immediately start thinking of like, all right, how is my life going to change? What do I have to take care of back in Florida to be able to move with my job, to be able to make sure that I don't need to leave right away? Or so I started thinking about all that, and then how will I get all my stuff together to leave Florida in 3 or 4 weeks? I think I'd start by explaining how difficult it is to be a young person trying to go into like middle or long distance triathlon. There isn't really much support out there. These races are $500 a piece, plus travel, plus bikes are, if you want to be on a fast bike, they're pretty insane. So having support to try to go to the next level from age group to professional is insane. Like, there's nothing like this out there. So not having to worry about paying for so many things, living in a great place to train, being able to train with the top athletes in the world is just like the unmatched opportunity. I'd say being in Boulder is super exciting. I'd never been anywhere really outside of the East Coast, so it's really cool to see the area and be surrounded by all professional athletes. It's definitely a change of pace for me. I went from just following these people and their careers on Instagram to like swimming in the pool with some of them. So it's a little weird. Actually, I didn't ever think this would be my life. But I'm looking forward to being able to meet more people that I could have only dreamed of meeting probably a year ago, and then keep working hard and seeing what improvement I can make. I think it's interesting to see like actually what goes on in this training. Like, I have swam twice this week with the current 70.3 world champion, and it's just like they're such normal people, whereas when I was just living in Florida, like, you think these people are, I don't know, like you couldn't talk to them or interact with them because they're just so good in the sport. And it is really motivating, and to see just like these people can be normal people and show up and work out and just do their thing is really cool. Not ever having a coach was tough because I don't know, like I'm still learning how I am as an athlete, training with structure and how I react to heavier load and what I would need from a coach. So I think, what do I want and where am I currently with my skill set and what will help me the most improve? So thinking through that, I wanted a coach that would be around to see me train, be able to give tips on how to improve and make me faster, and then be able to train with people that are way better than I am. I knew that it would be good to talk to coaches here. I talked to 3 different possibilities. Joe Gamble's, we met and had coffee, and he talked through like his approach to coaching and how we would work together. And then I talked to Rachel Joyce, and then the last person I met with was Ian O'Brien, and he has a primarily short course squad here in Boulder. But I swam with his group and really enjoyed the swim and the way he coaches his athletes on deck, and then just hearing him interact with his athletes afterwards. And then we sat down and had a conversation. Has a strong military background. My brother's in the military. I've always worked well with people like that, and I really liked his approach to coaching. And then just in one swim, I feel like he taught me how to swim again, which has been a struggle for me coming back from breaking my arm. So that gave me a lot of confidence in him being the right choice for me to be able to train with such an elite squad, and then also a coach that has a resume that speaks for itself. I think maybe never had any pressure on me around racing. It's always been fun. No one knows who I am, and it's just, I don't know, something I did outside of work. And now, like, there is some degree of pressure to qualify for the professional license and keep improving in the sport. So I think maybe fearful of getting injured and not being able to do that, or just having a series of bad races, which stemming from maybe more pressure since I've never really raced under those conditions. But so of course, one of the main goals of the pro project is to qualify for the professional card. So by US standards for me, I'd say that's the number one goal. And then I'd obviously like to improve performance across all 3 sports and have some really good race results at the age group level, and then ideally race one pro race at the end of the year, so maybe December. So my first race I'm planning is St. Anthony's in St. Petersburg. It's a really fun race, and then I know for sure I'll do Boulder 70.3 in June. I'll be racing in Finland for 70.3 World Champs in August. And then I have a couple others in mind, but it depends how the season goes. I don't know who will be listening to this, but ideally not having to work in corporate America forever.
I think that's perfect.